Guys, I really don't understand the excessive Reddit mod level of bitching about Echoes of Aincrad. As an SAO fan for years, this game has been such a fun and refreshing return to the series, with over 50 hours of gameplay already clocked in with 3 different accounts, 2 on death game mode and 1 on very hard, which, oh my gosh, very hard is its own video's worth of holy shit. But rather than joining in on the childish rants about this game, I'm just gonna hit you with some good tips to enjoy yourselves in Echoes of Aincrad, so let's get into it. My first tip really just has to do with your settings. I changed the slash keybind to the same button as my light attack, so I don't have to worry about timing hitting the E key with when the switch mechanic kicks off and our players do the cool switch combo. Putting this on my same button as my attack has made it a lot easier to pick up on that little chime and just go ahead and hit that window to activate the skill. That said, I changed most of my keybinds to fit what I use for other Souls-likes, like Black Myth Wukong, or even traditional Dark Souls games, or First Berserker Kazan. That being that I switched my dash or my evade over to spacebar, I changed my jump to one of the buttons on my mouse, heavy attack I moved to the second thumb button on my mouse, block is my right click, standard attack is my left click. Making these changes just made it a lot more fluid and more fun, more enjoyable to play because I have a lot of built-in instincts and sort of habits that I'm able to translate from other Souls-likes. Tip number 2 is use your health crystals before touching any healing potions because your health crystals will actually reset or respawn after hitting a rest area or a safe area, whereas your potions, you actually have to stop your quest and go back to town to resupply. Tip number 3. One of the first things that I would do when you're leveling up early in the game is go ahead and put 10 points into your intelligence, which gives you like 20% status effect resistance and an experience bonus. And that status effect resistance is going to save your life in so many occasions in death game mode. Some of the status hits are not quite as bad because they're just damage over time, like your poison or your fire, but if you get dazed, put to sleep, or paralyzed, you are just sitting there for a painful amount of time while the NPCs can just kick your ass. Sometimes your partner will come to the rescue, but trying to avoid these status effects are the best way to go about it. I put status resistance on my swords or whatever weapon I'm using, but one of the best ways to make sure that you're set is to at least go ahead and just put 10 points into intelligence and then, spend your points everywhere else that you like. Tip number 4. Another thing that occasionally happens with me, and this will happen if you're really good at dodging and getting in damage without taking damage, you'll notice like a focus mode. Use it or lose it. This is not something that you can save and use whenever you want. It is there for a limited amount of time. So if it pops up for me, I will just hit it right away and use it for whatever stage of the game I'm in. Whether I'm running around, I'm in a dungeon, I'm in a boss fight, because if you don't use it, you're going to lose it anyway, so you might as well. Tip number 5, use your partner skills as often as you can. Whether you're running with Aorus and you got the heal and the combo attack, or you're running with Wiseman, Argo, Zash, anybody else, use these skills as they present themselves where you can to maximize your ability to do damage, to survive the circumstances, because you never know when that might have been what you needed to get through the situation. This in a big way goes for Aorus' heal. Using her heal before you get into big mobs or boss fights to reset your health so you avoid using your crystals or consumables is a great option. It's also a great way to tank extra damage in a lot of these crazy boss fights on the harder difficulties. Have her pop her heal while you're in the middle of actually hitting the boss, and this can allow you to generate the last little bit of points you need to start your next combo move or to use a sword skill. Utilize your partners. This goes into tip number 6, which is let your partner work for you. Set them into free-for-all mode. Don't just use switch mode all the time, because what this will allow is for them to go out and actually attack on their own terms. They're not just sitting there waiting for you, wasting so much DPS that they could be delivering. And to make that even better, with tip number 7, save a good weapon for your favorite partner and max it out. Use the best EX mods you can find that you don't want to use on your own weapon and get the cardinal rank up as high as you can. Like, this will be huge. I have always got an awesome sword, like the freezing stacks from the Mithril sword, or the Snake Phantasm poison stacks on Aorus, maxed out as much as I can with the best EX mod I can. That way she is able to do all that damage and support and status effects alongside me. To be honest, I rarely actually use the switch mechanic. It really depends. Going into tip number 8, save your combo moves for when you're surrounded by mobs, especially when they do their mob calls, when they do their howls and all the extra mobs pop up. That is when you want to hit your combo to do maximal damage to everybody around you. Tip number 9, assign your stat points to reflect the attributes of your weapon. If your weapon does really good with strength and agility, put your stats there. If it does really good with intelligence and dexterity, put your stats there. That is the best thing you can do to scale up your damage as much as possible. That way you're not without wasting valuable trait points along the way. You can always pay some coal to reset your stat points if you want to change up your playstyle or you got a new weapon that has different attributes that benefit from it, so don't shy away from that. We make more than enough coal in this game to be worried about spending it on restatting. Tip number 10, I would not worry too much about crafting weapons. Monster drops tend to be far better. Armor and bag items are totally great to craft, that's not really counted here, but when it comes to your swords, maces, axes, all that, I wouldn't worry too much about the crafting of those items because the drops will have much better EX mods and stats on them than anything you craft. Maybe that'll change in the future. I think that'd be pretty cool. Give us a reason to want to craft weapons, but right now it's kind of a waste. Tip number 11, always keep the basic bomb and firestones on you as well as blink and luminous talismans. That way you're never limited in your exploration of the map while you're in a quest. You can get to every chest out there. You can always jump across any teleport spots and see in any dark caves without worrying about needing to stop your quest and go back to town, which is definitely an option, but it saves you time. Tip number 12, use your 5 possible waypoints. If you didn't know this, you can actually set 5 individual color waypoints that will allow you to track different chests, investigative spots, safe zones or rest areas, and it really helps you keep yourself in track so you're not doubling back and wasting a lot of time on foot. This dovetails into tip number 13, which is that you can use your safe zones to fast travel or teleport around the map. You want to be careful doing this with the dungeon terminals or the warp terminals because those will actually just immediately send you back to town and interrupt your quest. There isn't anything really too bad about that other than the lost time of needing to go back into the quest because it doesn't cancel it or negatively impact you. And that actually goes into tip 14, which is that you can leave a quest at any time to restock on gear or level up your character or your weapons without any negative consequences. So you have a lot of freedom here, which is nice. I do wish, like some valid critiques, that we could just freely explore the floors of Aincrad, but you can do a lot in between so many different quest lines to fully check out all of these maps. And using these tips allow you to get around a lot faster than some people would make you believe. Tip number 15, play on hard mode or death game modes if you're able to. Whether you bought the Ultimate Edition and you have death game mode pretty much from the start, or you earn death game mode after going through the main story, playing on the harder difficulties is really what elevates the experience and the thrill of playing a Souls-like game. I tell you what, man, on hard mode, when you're about to get paralyzed by one of these elite kobolds and you don't know what is going to happen or if you're going to be able to make it out, or you might get spammed by a bunch of little dudes that you would normally hit in one move, but they hit you in such a pattern that they get you down to that last sliver of health on death game mode, and your last thought is, wow, this is how I die. Really? Okay. Like, these experiences add to that thrill. They get your heart pumping, they get the adrenaline flowing, they make you feel things that other games rarely do. And I agree with some of the critiques. I haven't really had a fun time with a sword art game since Fatal Bullet. Fatal Bullet was fun, but it felt narrow. Eventually, you just felt really repetitive. You're kind of doing the same thing over and over. And while some might make that critique with Echoes of Aincrad, it's too early to be crying like this. We got expansions coming, we got a lot more of the world to see, there's some great lore inside. There's a lot of effort and love that was put into the build of this game, with its size and everything we can do, that to write it off as some type of money grab slop is just some really weird coping that I don't understand. This has been a really fun experience, and I'm sure a lot of you are having a great time, and maybe some of you don't like it. Maybe there are reasons that you find the game lacking, and I would love to hear that down below in the comments. Feel free to let me know. The final tip that I'm going to give you guys is don't fall prey to all the bitching about this game. It's a bunch of tilted Reddit takes that haven't reflected my experience, and it may not reflect your own. I've always loved the show, and this is the best experience I've had playing a game in the SO universe, again, since Fatal Bullet. And this is just the beginning. We got updates and expansions to come. So I hope you guys found some value in this video. I hope you appreciate my blunt take and the tips that I give you. I hope it helps you really take your experience in this game to the next level. And again, let me know what you think down below, guys. That's all for this one. I'll catch you next time.